Follow your dreams and you can be anything if you work hard enough. What's a common life pro tip that is actually bad advice? Never give up. Sometimes you should give up. Sometimes you'll try your best and it still won't work out. My favorite version of this: it's better to be at the bottom of a ladder you want to climb, than halfway up one you don't. This quote inspired me to quit my career of 10 years and go back to school. Best decision I ever made. If you do what you love, you will never work a day in your life. Many people use this advice thinking they'll be able to easily coast through life and are shocked when they have to face the reality of it being an actual job. When you do something that you love as a career rather than as a hobby, it becomes much more serious and has more responsibilities. Sometimes it can even lead to you hating the thing you used to love. This isn't to discourage anyone who wants to pursue a career in something they enjoy, like a photographer or a chef. If you want to have a career doing something you enjoy, that's great. But you have to go in knowing that it won't be all sunshine and rainbows 100% of the time. There will be difficulties from time to time and you won't have the same amount of freedom that you used to have when it was just a hobby. As long as you go in knowing that and are willing to adapt and work hard, you'll be fine. Looks don't matter. No matter how confident you are with yourself, it is inevitable that people will judge you based on your appearance. There is plenty to rightfully judge based on looks because it indicates other qualities that may be important to you in a mate or friend. Hygiene, hair, weight, clothes, posture, body language and many others are all things under your control. There is some wiggle room in terms of finance, genetics, etc., but for the most part a person has a lot of control over how they look. Think about what you do judge a person on as well. It is almost always on the aspects they can control. If you think someone looks like a gross slob because of their neck beard, dandruff, and messy hair, those are all things that person can change. You didn't look at them and think their nose was too big or their eye color sucked. Play hard to get. Most of the time, playing hard to get just guarantees that both of you are going to end up alone. The dating world is competitive and few people have the time to constantly pursue someone who is not demonstrating any interest. Stop playing these silly games and show a little interest back. You will be giving yourself many more opportunities with people you otherwise might have missed out on. Just be yourself. You're perfect just the way you are and never let anyone change you, are double-edged swords preventing many people from growing out of horrid habits or bad personality traits. If a lot of people are telling you to change your behavior, chances are you're gonna mess up your life if you don't pay attention. People seem to have this idea that change is this bad thing when not changing can lead to stagnation. Sometimes change isn't bad, especially if you learn and become a better person and become more you. We are all perfectly imperfect. You can do anything that you put your mind to. No, you can't. Not everyone is good at everything, and the sooner you make peace with your own limitations, the more successful you'll become. I was always very bad athletically, but academically gifted. In high school I was also 5 feet 3 inches and like 110 ibs. My history teacher also coached our state champion shot put team. I got a 100% on a test and the following convo occurred between my teacher and me. Teacher, Squeaky, you can do absolutely anything you set your mind to, great work. Me, really coach? What if I put my mind to being your very best shot putter? Teacher, okay, you can do anything you set your mind to except the shot put. If you work harder than everyone else, you'll always get what you want. No. Just no. Sometimes bad things happen. Hard work doesn't guarantee success. Some people, though intelligent and lazy, cruise through life. And some people who work hard every single day struggle to make ends meet. There's no guarantee that hard work will get you to where you want to be. You don't always get what you want. Yes, hard work is important and necessary in life. But you don't always get what you want just by working hard. If I wanted to be as rich as Jeff Bezos tomorrow, I wouldn't be able to do it just by working hard. Maybe I can do it, maybe I can't. But I'm going to need a lot more than hard work to get me there. Some other things you also need are perseverance, resilience, discipline and a good plan. You don't always get what you want by only working hard. That being said, yes, hard work is important, kids. So is working smart. Have there been people who have succeeded without having to work hard? Yes. Have there been people who have received opportunities that the hard worker did not get simply because they were born richer or they had better connections? Absolutely. Have there been people who have succeeded by working hard? I sure hope so. But hard work doesn't guarantee that you will get exactly what you want all the time. Going around talking to every good divorce attorney in your town, speaking to, but not choosing, All of them to make them all biased and unable to work with your spouse. Someone did this from following a Reddit post, and then they apparently realized what was going on and demanded that they pay the bills. Turns out, the judge and jury etc. don't like it when you try to game the system. Travel while you're young and not tied down. While it's great if you can afford it, it has been offered in my experience chiefly by people who have folks to fall back on. Traveling the world until you are broke is not a good life pro tip if you get stranded with no one to bail you out at the end. People are like, travel, hang out, have some hobbies. I want that too, but I don't have money to travel, nor I can make time, which usually goes in studying and finishing assignments and stuff. Just come out, even if your parents hate you. It's better than being someone you're not. No. No 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 no. Come out when it's safe. When you have somewhere else to live. You've faked it for this long, you can do a little longer and stay alive. It sucks, it hurts, it's a witch and unfair, but you'll live. Some parents realize they're jerks and become accepting, some realize they were too accepting and outright murder their child. Be safe. Just do the work. Not horrible advice, but incomplete. I find that when people are stuck in life, it's often because they're doing the wrong kind of work. Work that's solitary, unmotivated, not strategic. Instead, I encourage people to join the community that is associated with the work they want to do. If you want to be a comedian or a filmmaker like me, hanging out at a show that you like, or collaborating with other creators, and building relationships there, and feeding those relationships just as often as you're doing the work will ultimately be more beneficial. At some point in your 20s, most people realize it's not as much about what you know, or even what you do, it's about who you know. Who you know also has way more of an impact on your overall happiness. I think the pursuit for perfection, especially in the age of social media, aiming for an ideal 8 hours of sleep, all fresh veg, fruit, whole grain diet, perfect study and work habits, with Instagram shots of color-coded notes, expensive skincare routine, 1.5 liters of water a day, getting up at 5 a.m. for a run, abstaining from all vices. It's good to strive to be the best version of yourself, but the unnecessary pressure to excel at all these things seem detrimental more than anything else. I put a lot of time/effort into work and am good at my job. I have great physical and mental health. If I want to eat donuts with vodka shots at 11 p.m., or stay up watching Bob's Burgers until 2 a.m., or skip my run and head to work, I should be able to do that sometimes. Wellness is not a competition, and an elastic band stretched far enough will snap. Just be happy or look on the bright side. Great overall advice, but sometimes in the moment, it can be the absolute worst. Sometimes things just suck and we want to break down and cry. That's okay. We shouldn't be talked out of those emotions when we're upset and obviously feeling low. They're family. Let it go. My dad, who is a doctor, watched as I got a viral infection that spread to my brain and I went blind and deaf. He called my mom and said I'd be dead by the time he got home from work the next day. My sister, who hasn't spoken to him since middle school, had to break into his house, find me, call 911. Dad was mad that she broke in, said nothing about me. Ignore the bullies and they'll stop. This advice makes me want to slap a witch. You are giving them and everyone who sees it permission. Silence is acceptance. That is the real advice. Telling kids to follow your dreams and you can be anything if you work hard enough. Sometimes you need to admit that even if something is your dream and you're willing to work for it, you may not have the necessary talent you need to succeed and should just keep it as a hobby. Hard work is important, but so is natural ability. I have a friend with dreams of being a successful actress. Her parents keep telling her if she believes then she can do it and she has talent and should follow her heart. While she's not bad, she's not great. She couldn't get into drama school, went to university to do something else and graduated with a poor grade because she spent all of her time focusing on the drama society. Now she's been in and out of service jobs still trying audition after audition with almost no success. Instead she could have been building a career in another field and joined an amateur dramatic group to maintain her love for it while not wasting her life chasing an impossible dream. Plus there's the whole issue of it being a very difficult, unstable job where you need connections to go far. Getting a 4-year degree is essential for a successful career. Acquiring marketable skills in a field you enjoy is what matters, not spending X amount of time in college. Many 4-year degrees leave you with very few skills that are needed in the job market, while many trade school programs only take a few months and put you on the track to a high-paying job. We shouldn't be sending everyone to college. Not everyone is cut out for it, not everyone is smart enough, and not everyone will get much out of it. We still need people to fix leaky pipes and roofs, to mow the lawn, to drive your kids to school on the bus. If you want to go to a trade school to be an auto mechanic, and that's your thing, more power to you. Do what you are good at and do it well. If you want to get a job out of high school instead of continuing your education, you should be able to do that, without scorn or unsolicited advice encouraging you to go study somewhere you don't want to go, taking on debt you may not be able to repay. The push to send everyone to college no matter what is ridiculous. I believe everyone should have an equal opportunity to go to college, but they definitely shouldn't be failures if they can't or don't want to. You're perfect the way you are. No, you're not, no one is. You should always strive to grow and become a better you. I get it's encouraging for those who struggle with their identity, but working in schools, I've seen way too many students who think that means there is no room for growth. If you look at perfect by the following definition: absolute, complete, the perfection is attainable. Expecting perfection in the context of being flawless is not practical. If you paint a vase of flowers, you work on it until it is perfect. The moment you finish the painting, it is perfect because you have deemed it complete. If you're never finished the painting because you are always trying to fix the flaws, then you sabotage yourself. At some point the paint will either be abandoned or completed. We can be like Mary Poppins. She is not perfect, but she is practically perfect. If we are completely human beings, we can be perfect, but that does not mean we are without flaws. It simply means we are complete. People are far too hard on themselves, reaching towards some unattainable ideal, thus missing that sometimes they need more work and sometimes they need to just let it go. As for being perfect just the way you are, I think that means don't change who you are because people don't accept you for being different. No one is finished or complete. Ignore what others think of you. Human interaction is a cornerstone of our existence, and depending on how well you're liked among others determines the relative ease of how well you're able to get through life. Being mindful of others and their feelings should inform your thoughts and actions to a certain extent. There are obviously exceptions, but to simply outright ignore everybody and just maintain your course no matter what is not good advice. If you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. No matter what career you choose, no matter how fortunate you are, there's going to be parts of what you do that are going to be annoying, unpleasant, and difficult, and there's no guarantee that doing something for fun is going to stay fun when you've got to do it because you need to pay rent. Pick a career based on what you're good at and what people value. You're selling your time. When people are like, if you're unhappy, change your situation. Quit your job, move to a new state, cut off all your relationships and live in your car. You can completely change your life at any time. Except there are a lot of financial barriers, and a lot of very good reasons to not drive across the country and be homeless with no plan. And aside from that, you really should think through big life-changing decisions, especially if they involve leaving a job, a town, a relationship, whatever. Because sometimes you find out what you really need to do too is to stay and work things out, and if you just randomly up and leave without even giving it a thought, you may never get the chance to do that. Not saying risks don't pay off sometimes, and I'm not saying you can't change situations that make you miserable. But just doing whatever you want without making a plan and putting thought to it rarely works out well. Figure out what makes you miserable, why it makes you miserable, then plan to change it based on what you're able to do. Don't stop fighting for your relationship, or a relationship has ups and downs, and what matters is staying through them. No. If you are in a relationship that you are the only one putting in effort, then you absolutely should stop fighting for it and walk away. You can't pour from an empty cup. Sometimes you need to put yourself first and put the effort into yourself. Marriage and long-term partnership is a lot of work. You have to work at it every day. BS. Your relationship should make your life better and easier. Sure, there will be hard times. But it should be easy to be with someone most of the time. It shouldn't be a lot of hard work or something you have to work at every day. Most problems should be the two of you versus the problem, and most of the hard times should be things life throws at you that you help each other through. You should not constantly be trying to make your marriage work. If your relationship is difficult, it may have just run its course. Marriage/being with someone should be easy. Thanks for listening to Radio TTS. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell for more videos. Click the right box for the Radio TTS playlist and let us know what the next video should be about.